In Bartow County, almost hit by a truck as she boarded her school bus. The school bus driver thought really quickly slammed on the horn as soon as they saw what was going on, alerting the teenager who jumped out of the way just in time.
You may have seen this shocking video out of New York, a bus driver possibly saving this student's life. She grabs onto the boy's shirt, stopping him from getting off the bus right as a car just speeds by.
17,000 children end up in the hospital from school bus accidents every year. And in the past decade, at least 64 children have died getting on and off the bus. The biggest risk for kids is what's known as the danger zone. That's the 10 feet surrounding a stopped bus. CBS's Meg Oliver reports in depth on one school district that's trying to solve the problem.
For driver Brenda Shawshaw in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, at each stop, student safety is her top concern.
What do you see?
I see people cutting us off. I see people going around the bus, whether the stop sign's out or not.
Passing a school bus flashing red lights is against the law in all states, and yet many drivers don't stop. Now, 120 buses in Shawshaw School District are mounted with cameras, recording every violator's license plate. Videos are forwarded to police to issue a $300 fine.
The times that it is right now, people are more aggressive, less patient.
In neighboring Allentown, during a 47-day study in 2019, cameras on 2 buses recorded 205 illegal stop arm violations. Nationwide, school buses are passed illegally more than 17 million times a year.
It was a heart-stopping moment.
In 2018, Amber Clark and her daughter Olivia, then in kindergarten, had a close call.
There was a white car that had ran the stop sign, and it was barreling towards us, and it didn't look like it was slowing down. I had just enough time to scoop up my daughter and spin. The windshield grazed her backpack.
After the terrifying incident, she successfully lobbied to have a law enacted permitting cameras on bus stop arms.
How does it work?
For Bethlehem Superintendent Joseph Roy, the beauty of the plan is that the cameras are free.
What do you say to the naysayers who say this is just Big Brother overreaching?
Yeah, I've had a couple of emails on that. And I guess my response is, I'm worried about the kids. My job is the kids, and just drive more safely.
Meg Oliver, CBS News, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
In Minnesota, school buses make at least 10,000 trips daily. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, children are 8 times safer riding a bus to school than any other vehicle. Their safety while getting on and off the bus is crucial. And this is why stop arms were implemented decades ago. Yet, violation of laws regarding stop arms continue to occur on a daily basis, endangering our children statewide. Every year, we hear stories of children being hit or nearly hit by vehicles not obeying the stop arm law.
It was my first stop in the afternoon. I had signaled as I turned the corner, activated my 8 ways, opened the door, the stop arm's out, the red lights are on, and the children were departing the bus.
And my son came running in the house and said that Evelyn was hit by a car.
Bus was stopped, stop arm down and everything, and as she's crossing the street there was an oncoming vehicle. The bus driver honked the horn, yelled Evelyn's name out the window.
The car was not going to stop.
And Evelyn stopped and looked back at the bus driver and then kept going because she didn't understand what was going on.
And she hesitated just enough for the car not to fully hit her. But she did keep going a little bit and the car clipped her.
Knocked her to the ground. The rear tire ran over her foot.
I'm very grateful because if Mickey, the bus driver, did not stop her or slow her down, she would have been right in front of the car.
It's eye-opening having first-hand experience with your kid getting hit by a car by someone failing to stop at a stop arm for a bus.
It was the next day, she didn't want to ride the school bus because she didn't feel safe. So it took a while for her to get back to normal. It was very hard.
It's stories like these that reinforce the point that everyone needs to pay attention to their surroundings and always stop for school buses.
County almost hit by a truck as she boarded her school bus. The school bus driver thought really quickly slammed on the horn as soon as they saw what was going on, alerting the teenager who jumped out of the way just in time. Today, the Bartow County Sheriff honored that bus driver and announced that deputies have arrested the truck driver who nearly hit the teenager.
The bus driver says during 7 years of driving with Bartow County schools, other drivers have blown past her stop sign, but never like this. Driving Bartow County School Bus 198 is routine for Shannon Banks. And on the morning of August 20th, Banks drove down Young Road to pick up 15-year-old Candace Vaughn.
As soon as I motioned her across, here I looked in this mirror and the car was coming flying, and all I could do was honk the horn.
With her stop sign out and lights on, Banks honked the horn and Vaughn jumped as a truck blew past. Banks called her supervisors, who notified the Bartow County Sheriff's Office.
Take a look at this. You may have seen this shocking video out of New York. A bus driver possibly saving this student's life. She grabs onto the boy's shirt, stopping him from getting off the bus right as a car just speeds by.
The 12 News I-Team looking into similar incidents here in Arizona. Team 12's Bianca Bono is live in the studio with what she found. Bianca?
Well, Mark Haribe, the law is clear. If the flashing stop sign on a school bus is sticking out, cars have to stop. But it turns out drivers ignore them every single day.
It's after school in Maricopa. Students are getting dropped off by the bus. The bus's stop sign flashes, warning drivers to wait. But some don't. A close call as a driver speeding down the street barely comes to a stop while a student crosses right in front of them. Then, instead of waiting, continues on. A dangerous move that's against the law. It happens again in Phoenix. And again just days later, while this bus driver assists a student in a wheelchair. A car barrels by.
You get somebody at least 2-3 times a day that run these stop arms.
Sergio Polito, the director of transportation for the Maricopa Unified School District, says his bus drivers are fed up with the illegal passers.
They don't see any students and they say, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and go before they come out. But we have students that get off the bus, not necessarily just walk this way, but they cross the front of the bus.
Well, you are about to see some video that will infuriate you. A man apparently in a big hurry waiting behind school buses in Brooklyn, dropping children off at school this morning, that he actually drove up on the sidewalk, almost hitting those very young students.
All this to try to get around the buses. 2 minutes. Infuriated at this guy, that's perhaps too tame a word. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger.
There's impatient, and then there's downright reckless. Buses were dropping off this morning at this Borough Park yeshiva when the driver of this Toyota wasn't willing to wait for them. So as the school cameras were recording, he jumped the curb and drove on the sidewalk parallel to traffic, almost mowing down several young kids, before speeding off down the sidewalk.
And Chris, Cleveland police were waiting for this driver.
Yeah, Danita, they sure were, and they're crediting a quick-thinking CMSD bus driver for helping them nab this driver. Take a look at the cell phone video shot by the bus driver. His name, Uriah Heron. Happened on the first day of school, then again a few days ago. The bus driver was ready this time, recording it on his cell phone. It shows a silver Jeep Compass, look at this, driving onto the sidewalk to avoid that stop bus. Well, the bus did have its flashers on and stop signing out, and it happened again this morning, this time a little after 7:30. Same place, East 38th between Superior and Payne Avenue. Watch as the silver Jeep, again, goes onto the sidewalk, swerves onto the sidewalk, passes the bus. You can see the students there watching the whole incident, but this time, yep, the longtime bus driver tipping off police what's going on. They were waiting for the woman and nabbed her at the end of the street.
Stopped bus.